we've been able to, the second arm of government. In fact, we are the first arm of government. It is after the legislature that you talk about the executive, and after the executive, you talk about the judiciary. And we've been able to look at the laws of Nigeria. Most of them inherited from the colonial masters have become archaic, old, and we've reviewed most of them, and we've passed laws for the benefit of the Nigerian populace. The only thing is that most of these things, most of the laws passed are having problem of effective implementation, monitoring, and so on and so forth. But I think we've done very well, even though there is room for improvement. But for a country like Nigeria with diverse languages, people, and so on and so forth, it will be difficult to manage the laws of the country that will be parallel and be useful to everybody. But I think that the only problem the legislative arm of government has always had is the issue of partisanship. We've not been able to. I believe that we have to think more of Nigeria as a country instead of party politics. As for making the laws, we've done well. Like I said, even though there's room for improvement, but we've tried our best. We've been able to look at laws that can positively impact on our people. Like I said, the most important issue is that most of our laws, when it comes to the House, it's more of partisan politics, regional, and so on and so forth.
I believe that Nigerians should rate us, because I do not believe in blowing my own trumpet, because if Nigerians rate us, they'll be able to tell us whether we are doing well or whether we are not doing well. If we are not doing well, then we'll improve. If we are doing well, then we'll consolidate. But from general perspective, we've moved to the next level. At least it is in this ninth assembly that we returned the budget from January to December. Of course, we've done our work. The implementation, whether they are implementing from January to December, you also find out. But from the legislative arm, we've done just that. And of course, from oversight, we've been doing well on oversight, because through oversight, we expose a lot of corruption. Without oversight, of course, there'll be chaos everywhere. So we are providing those checks and balances from the oversight functions that we've performed over the years. Of course, I've been here for like 14th year. And all these years, I know that the Parliament have not lagged behind on issues of oversight. If the executive is not doing what they're supposed to do, you go home and people may stone you because say, okay, you can't provide road, because they don't even understand what it's all about. And that's why we go out of our way to try to do something and make sure that we do the little bit. And of course, we have the Zonal Intervention Fund. It's just to bridge the gap of people pushing that the legislators should do something. And of course, let me tell you, it's this current assembly that have passed the PIB, which other assemblies couldn't do. And so for me, for ninth assembly, it's a plus. You have the budget year return from January to December, and then you have the PIB passed. And so for projects, you see, that's why we do, from time to time, we do commission projects. And we are not executive, but because we are the closest people to the grassroots. And you can't see somebody crying and you pretend that it doesn't exist. Somebody must make somebody to cry. And that's why, whether we want to eradicate the issue of people expecting us to do the work of executive, I do not know how it's going to happen, because we are delivering those dividends of democracy, because of course we pass the budget. And that's why when people say they pad budget, what is padding budget? If you bring a budget and I know that I have erosion problem, and I know that I don't have water, I know that there's no health facilities, that my people are not even accessing the NHIs and stuff, and I say, okay, your budget did not include this, include those things, and then people call it bad padding. And so we will continue to bridge those gaps, but other clients, that's not what they do.
The legislative arm of the government were still doing our best to give Nigerians the good Nigeria they preferred and the Nigeria they prayed to have. On our own, we're doing everything possible to make sure that the people feel the impact of democracy and what we are doing. And the legislative arm, trying our best, like I said, to profile things and make laws that will be for the betterment of. Before I came into legislative business 12 years ago, because I was in my state for 8 years, that's what I felt. So when I came to this place, I know that the two arms of government that will be in practice are really necessary for the country, because we doing bicameral legislative arm, but people that see it as expensive, what again do we need to have? We have our role as House of Reps members, while the Senate have their role to play. Only all is together to bring and have a good and better Nigeria. I don't see it as being expensive because the different arms of the legislative, the two chambers have its own particular jobs or duties to perform, and which is not actually what we impose on one chambers, because we can't afford to have a unicameral legislative system in Nigeria. For a layman, they will always see it as being expensive, but me that is involved, I can't tell you that it's expensive.
I think the legislation has improved over time, and the structure of the legislatures have strengthened effectively since 1999. When I say since 1960, because we have improved in every level of decisions we are making today. You could see today we are not just making law, but building consensus in whatever things we are achieving. In terms of the issue of security, we are building a lot of consensus. In terms of the issue of the economy, we are building a lot of the consensus. And in terms of, churning out laws that probably governs the activities of political parties through the electoral process, we are also building consensus. I think that is just the way to go. Nigeria must understand themselves.
Now, has the legislature been effective in checkmating the executive?
Highly,
Part of its constitutional function.
highly effective. I can tell you, the oversight we have embarked on has, improved a lot. Do you know we submitted part of our report on oversight? And one of the key issues discussed in one of those oversight is churning about 9 laws, that will be able to efficiently govern the issues of security of this country. That takes you to the level of churning out very sensitive and highly fundamental laws. Today we are trying to build also a consensus in the electoral law to make sure that the electronic transmissions are effectively utilized, because the agencies, the institutions that ought to deliver that project have said that they are capable of doing that. We projected an hybrid parliamentary system of government, hybrid, that is run in the French system. The regional, or what I say, the people who started the parliamentary system probably is the Great Britain, and when you looked at also France's own, is an hybrid type, and so we are trying to make sure that the hybrid type of the system is actualized, and I can tell you, more efficiently, that's what the country needs.